Love is patient, love is kind, and according to Netflix's hit reality dating show, Love is Blind. The series followed contestants as they got engaged to total strangers without seeing their faces, a concept which set up plenty of cringeworthy situations. Here are the most awkward moments we witnessed. Love is Blind is hosted by married couple Nick and Vanessa Lachey, but their minimal screen time left some viewers wondering if the reality show even required hosts. As noted by Vulture, the Lacheys appear throughout the first season for a grand total of 13 minutes, excluding the bonus reunion episode. But despite the minimal screen time, Nick managed to deliver one of the show's most awkward moments in the very first episode. After Vanessa introduced herself, Nick kicked the weirdness up a notch.
I'm Vanessa Lachey.
I'm obviously Nick Lachey.
Viewers were quick to point out Nick's choice of words, and it didn't take long for the former boy band star to poke a little fun at himself as well. He tweeted, "Obviously, you guys are loving Love is Blind, so obviously we had to do a reunion special. By the way, I'm obviously Nick Lachey." Carlton and Amber Pike might have been two of the most outspoken contestants on the show, but as viewers quickly learned, their similar demeanors weren't enough to ignite a spark between the two of them. During the season premiere, viewers watched as Amber talked to Carlton about her non-existent daddy issues, and Carlton grew visibly uninterested.
As a big tomboy, I wanted to work on cars.
By the end, Carlton quietly made his way out of the pod without saying goodbye, leaving Amber alone to talk to a wall.
Hello.
Jessica Batten was at the center of countless awkward moments on the show, but one moment stood out from the rest. On episode 6, viewers watched as she and her fiancé Mark Cuevas had yet another confusing discussion about their relationship, with Jessica expressing her apprehensiveness about their age difference, as well as Mark's super close relationship with his mother.
He won't stop talking about his mom. And I'm like, dude.
But the most cringeworthy moment came when Jessica nonchalantly allowed her dog to lick her wine, whispering, quote, "She loves wine." Jessica later confessed to Entertainment Weekly that she doesn't even recall the buzzed about moment, claiming, "I don't even remember doing it. I don't know why I did that, but it was definitely unnecessary for sure." While Diamond Jack didn't make it to the altar with former fiancé Carlton Morton, she was so popular with fans that she was invited to join the cast for the reunion, in which she and Carlton officially made amends.
I accept your apology and I do forgive you.
Still, the former dancer provided plenty of entertainment throughout her short time on the show. During her first pod date with Barnett, Diamond delighted viewers after he took a cheap shot at her name.
Diamond? Okay. How you doing, Diamond?
And that's my real name. I heard it in your voice, you questioning it.
So which strip club do you work at? I'm kidding.
While Barnett said he was kidding, Diamond was having none of his nonsense, telling him she was docking 5 points from his score.
Hell no. Barnett, keep moving.
The show might be called Love is Blind, but for Barnett, a more fitting title might have been Lust is Confusing.
Do you really think that you can find a wife?
What do you think?
Don't do that. We don't have time for games here.
Throughout the first 3 episodes of season 1, Barnett struggled with his feelings for 3 women, Jessica, Elsie, and Amber. And as viewers witnessed, Barnett's initial inability to make a decision led to more than a few awkward conversations.
They all would make excellent wives, and it's difficult because I'm becoming emotionally attached to all of them.
During one pod date with Jessica, Barnett mentioned wanting to propose to her, subsequently causing Jessica to put Mark on the back burner. But during their following pod date, Barnett confessed he wasn't planning to propose to Jessica at all.
Is it true that you still feel the same way you felt last night about me?
I don't know.
Not only was it painfully awkward to watch Jessica discover Barnett's true feelings, it was even more uncomfortable to watch her drunkenly confront Barnett's future fiancée Amber with a warning.
Don't let Barnett with you.
What do you mean?
I'm just telling you, he's a boy. I just walked out on him.
Needless to say, the whole situation was totally cringeworthy. As any fan knows, Jessica was 34 and Mark was 24. And Jessica made sure to remind Mark of the 10-year age gap throughout nearly every conversation they had. Viewers got to watch as Jessica laid out the math for Mark, who seemed more than ready to never talk about his age again by episode 6.
We have a kid, and I'm 36.
You look good.
You're 26.
Cool.
Again, Mark assured Jessica he was down with whatever the future would bring, but she didn't stop there.
In 10 years, if the kid's like 8 years old, that's when your parents would be 75 years old.
While we understand Jessica's perspective, the entire interaction felt like one big cringeworthy math problem the couple would never solve. Giannina Gibelli and Damian Powers are two people who would have likely never dated in the real world, so it was a shock to see them form such a connection on the show. G even shook up the gender norm by getting down on one knee to propose to Damian during their final pod date. After he did, of course.
Will you marry me?
I wanted to tell you something. Damian Powers, will you marry me?
But it didn't take long for the couple's compatibility to be tested, with Damian asking G to watch her language and keep her political opinions to herself. But the most shocking moment of their engagement came when G chastised Damian for his skills in the bedroom on episode 7.
You know how you tell me this is the best sex of your life? Have you noticed that I don't return the compliment?
Yikes, we can't blame Damian for hiding under the covers. Lauren Speed and Cameron Hilton were the first couple to get engaged on the show, and the Lovebirds managed to maintain their fan favourite status throughout the series, ultimately tying the knot in the season finale. But while their relationship was far more sweet than awkward, Cameron gave us all a case of secondhand embarrassment when he busted out a rap for Lauren's mum, Pam, during their first meeting.
Back in college, I used to do a lot of, I was in a hip hop group and we performed a little bit.
Pam then asked her daughter's fiancé to give her a taste of his talent. After a little hesitation, Cameron burst into a rap.
I'm living in a dream and those haters wonder why I'm so high up that I feel like I can fly.
As much as we love the guy, we can't unhear what we heard. On episode 6, viewers watched as the newly engaged Barnett and Amber got honest about money, specifically Amber's financial situation.
I've only got one credit card. It's my makeup credit card, but it's only a $700 limit. And
Still I'm pretty high for makeup.
I'm at the limit.
While Barnett was visibly uncomfortable with discovering his new fiancé had a credit card dedicated solely to beauty products, the real kicker came when Amber opened up to Barnett about her student loan debt.
Then there's my student debt from where I never graduated college.
What are we talking about?
About 20 grand.
While the couple ultimately chose love over crippling debt and tied the knot during the season finale, Barnett's reaction to Amber's confession left viewers feeling like they were witnessing a conversation better suited for off-camera. Thanks to their respective histories with Barnett, Amber and Jessica weren't exactly BFFs. Unsurprisingly, their relationship was made even more contentious by Jessica's lingering feelings for Barnett. On episode 9, the women hit the town for a joint bachelorette party, which overflowed with both alcohol and drama.
Jessica is a messica tonight, okay? A mess.
During the celebration, an inebriated Jessica approached Amber, wrapping her fellow contestant in a hug and drunkenly telling her,
Look at me and know me. Look at me. You okay, boo-boo? I won't go after your dude.
Amber, who had long been suspicious of Jessica, responded by saying she would have thrown punches had she tried to make a move on Barnett.
If you were to ever actively go after my husband, I would destroy your life.
Surprisingly, Amber's confession didn't seem to faze Jessica, who topped off their alcohol-fueled gal chat with a cringeworthy sloppy kiss. Despite their tumultuous relationship, G was more than prepared to say I do to Damian on their wedding day. But when Damian tearfully responded with an I do not, the almost bride did what any reasonable, level-headed adult would do when confronted with the same situation. She ran away.
It would be selfish of me to marry you today. Knowing as much as you tell me you're ready, I see that you're not.
G's runaway bride moment had been teased since the promos for the show were first released. But the fun soon turned to secondhand embarrassment when G slipped on the wet grass outside of the wedding venue.
I'm out of here. Get me out of here. I'm done.
Things were only made worse by G's mother, who ran after her daughter and attempted to comfort her, saying,
Porque lo ideal era que tú dijeras que no y él que sí, pero no hacia al revés, porque sí duele más a uno.
Thanks for pointing out the obvious, Nick Lachey. While their relationship was far less dramatic than those of their fellow contestants, Kelly Chase and Kenny Barnes sent a shockwave through Love is Blind fandom when she rejected fan favourite Kenny at the altar.
I love you, but I don't.
After delivering her breakup speech, Kelly walked away, leaving Kenny to apologise to their wedding guests while Kelly's own mother watched him adoringly.
I love each and every one of y'all, and it's something that I'll cherish and be grateful for forever. So.
But moments later, Kenny was far less collected while talking to the cameras. When asked if he'd be open to marrying Kelly in the future, Kenny responded,
I really can't answer that question right now. And it's completely, you have to actually, respect the fact that I'm telling you this. I don't know.
Unfortunately for Kenny, production continued awkwardly pressing him for answers.
I'm not gonna have things filmed. Please stop recording, Jimmy.
Despite seemingly airing their differences at the bachelorette party, Amber and Jessica's relationship was rockier than ever during the Love is Blind reunion special. A newly blonde Amber let it all out, telling Jessica,
"You're shiesty. You're so fake. Coming to my face like we were cool, you were so fake."
Revealing that watching her actions on screen had been, quote, brutal, Jessica offered an apology, saying,
Obviously, I was rejected by Barnett. I didn't take that very well. I super respect them both. I respect their relationship.
But Amber made it clear she wasn't ready to move on. Pushed by Nick Lachey to accept Jessica's apology, Amber begrudgingly said,
I accept the intent behind the apology. I can't be fully there yet.
Yeah.
Awkward. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite reality shows are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.